The story that's been developing over the last 24 hours, a lot of talk about Alejandro Garnacho and a potential move to Chelsea. And then later on yesterday, this potential for Christopher Nkunku from Chelsea to be heading the other way in some kind of swap deal. When you look at both players, how surprised would you be if this happens?
Very surprised on the fact that I don't think Chelsea need Garnacho. I think they got better players than Garnacho.
They really need another winger, do they?
No, I don't think they do. So I'd be very surprised. And Nkunku to United, I can see that he's a goal scorer. He wants to play on a regular basis. And I still think Man United are a big pull. I believe that. But for Garnacho to go the other way, I just can't see it. And I'm not sure about Garnacho. I don't think he's a superstar. I really don't. But I think he's a lot better than a lot of players they've got. So when you haven't got that many good players and someone who's come through your academy, why would you release?
But that's the thing. It feels like he's been around for ages. He has, and therefore he's still only 20. Do you not see the potential in Garnacho?
Yeah, potential. We keep talking about potential. I saw the potential in Marcus Rashford as well. And I think he's massively overrated. I just think the money...
What, even 2 seasons ago, when he was scoring for fun?
Yeah, well, we're scoring for fun in 1 season. You know, I like his attributes. I think he's got a lot to offer, Marcus. But I just think to be a top draw player, you've got to do it on a regular basis. You've got to be consistent. You've got to keep doing it. You've got to drive your team. You've got to be someone the rest of your teammates look up to be a superstar on 350 grand a week. 350 grand a week. Why do you think he hasn't left Man United? Because no one can afford to take him. Because he's not a superstar. He's not an out-and-out superstar. And I think it's a real problem for Man United. And I don't know how they're going to get out of that one. He's not a bad player. I'm not saying that. He's not a bad lad. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying what I've seen on a football pitch, week in, week out, season in, season out, I've seen glimmers. I've seen little sparks of really impressive stuff. But it's all potential. Can't be potential. How old is he? 26? 27?
If I'm Man United, I'm getting that deal done live-o.
100%.
100%. I'm dropping...
Getting Nkunku in and Garnacho the other way.
If I'm United, I'm dropping him off and picking up Nkunku. I am, because he's a good player. I mean, he's just bang unlucky at Chelsea because of Palmer.
Yeah.
Because Palmer's done unbelievably well. He just hasn't got in the team.
He's done really well in that other squad in Europe.
Oh, he's a good player, honestly. If Man United got him, they'd get a signing and a half. Honestly, they wouldn't. I'm with Tim. I don't get the Garnacho one. He's not better than Sancho. Nowhere near. He's not better than Neto. Him and Mudawuki, you know, they'll have their days where they look really good, but they won't be consistent enough. But yeah, I don't see where he plays. But the other lad walks into the Man United team. Absolutely walks into it.
Real quick, Gary, just to finish, your thoughts on what's being reported, possible swap deal. Christopher Nkunku to Manchester United, Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea.
I don't get it for United. I mean, Nkunku's not kicked a ball hardly. I mean, he's obviously had the injury when he first come in. He struggled to get going at Chelsea. I mean, I'm not saying that Garnacho's the best player in the world and that he needs to actually, you know, that Garnacho needs to sort of stay at Manchester United. If they get good money for him, OK, that might work. But to swap him for Nkunku, I mean, I have to say that doesn't feel like a move that I would do if I was Manchester United. I can see why you would do it if you were Chelsea.
Premier League, indeed. Sky, Michael, welcome along to the two of you. Michael, let's just start with Manchester United. And interesting developments tonight on a Chelsea player.
Yeah, interesting indeed. This broke around 6 o'clock this evening, in the last hour. Chelsea forward Christopher Nkunku is a potential target for Manchester United in this window. Now, talks are understood to have been held between intermediaries about a move. Now, they don't want to sell Nkunku, but it is thought they would be tempted to do business for £70 million. Now, he's a player United are considering, but unlikely to meet that £70 million figure. We know Bayern Munich are interested, but that's a development tonight. Interest from Manchester United.
Sky, it's clear that Chelsea are looking to trim their squad, some would say yet again. From an agent's perspective, how does it work? Is that driven by the club, and what form does that take?
Well, first and foremost, if a player's not playing, then the player's not happy and the agent's not happy. But from Chelsea's perspective, if they are going to trim their squad, they're going to be on the phone to agents saying, look, you need to get your player out. Or sometimes a coach will have a conversation with a player and say, you're not in my plans. And that's normally a trigger to get the player to go to his agent and say, look, you know, you've got to get me out of here. But the January window is notoriously difficult. So they've got a short period of time. But you would expect that Chelsea would have been having conversations with agents and players, and the coach would have maybe had a conversation with a player well before the January transfer window, so that they're prepared to get going within these 4 weeks.
Is it a case that all of these agents are being called by the club individually, saying, listen, we've got player A, B, C, D and E, and we need them out of the club. What clubs can you bring to the table?
No, but it comes in different forms. Part of it may be the club saying, we need to balance the books, and so these players need to go. But it's normally not, going to a player and just saying, we don't want you. It's the coach saying, you're not in our plans. It's the club maybe telling the coach that if you want to bring someone in, you've got to get players out. But the catalyst is normally, if a coach says you're not in my plans, it's very difficult for the player to stay there. And the hierarchy, the big decision makers, they normally don't tell the players. They're telling the agents or they're telling the coach. And then the agents are under massive pressure. I mean, agents can lose clients if they don't get them out, if they're not playing. But Chelsea pay very well. They're a very financially strong club. So, playing for Chelsea, big club, a lot of players don't want to leave. But if they need to be relevant, they need to go and play somewhere.
Just sticking with Chelsea, of course, there's a lot of a link between Manchester United and Chelsea with Alejandro Garnacho just now. The interest is there, no official offer. Napoli also interested in Alejandro Garnacho. They've had a bid rejected. There's a gap in valuation. They've yet to come back in. Sky Italy are now reporting that United may have reduced their valuation for Garnacho, but Napoli now also looking at the Borussia Dortmund forward, Karim Adeyemi. And amidst all of that, Garnacho is starting games for Manchester United, as he did, some will say very impressively, against Rangers in the Europa League last night.